Hi everybody, this is Katie, and this video we're going to show you how to do packet tracer, adding computers to an existing network. So previous to this, you should have gone through Packet Tracer 101, so you understand a little bit about Packet Tracer, taken the quiz, and have Packet Tracer installed. So I've given you a lab that you're going to do and the instructions that are both here. So here's the instructions. You want to open this up, download it, print it off, whatever you want to do. The instructions are here, but they're also incorporated into the packet tracer. So I have printed it off and I have it in front of me, so I'm going to read instructions from here so I don't have to follow it both on the packet tracer. So the paper copy is just easier for me, so I printed it off. Come on, should be loading. And we can save it, just make sure we can get it. And I can show you what we're looking at. Oh, sometimes my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow. Try one more time to see if we can load it up. The other thing you'll want to prepare for, so you'll have to have Packet Tracer installed. You will also need a scratch piece of paper because we have to write down some IP addresses. And if you just print off this document here, you can, the PDF, you can do your notes on there. Now let me just pull it up. Packet Tracer PDF. This is the one that should be downloading. My internet just must be super duper slow. So this is what we're looking at. Oh, it's either internet or Blackboard, one or the other. So we need that file, download that, and then the other thing that we need is this PKA file, and we need to save this and open it in Packet Tracer. So I'm going to save this. Download it. Click, and it should start the download. I think Blackboard's just catching up. But what you will get is this file here. That's Word document. Let me make a copy of that here. Come on, Blackboard, will you cooperate this morning? It must be too cold. Blackboard's like, I don't want to come out of bed this morning. Anyway, we'll make sure that those launch for you. So you'll have those two files. One is the PDF right here, and then the other one is this Packet Tracer right here. So we're going to open this up in Packet Tracer. There's my file, and I can launch Packet Tracer from here. Now mine is instructor version. Your student version was exactly the same. It's 6.2 that we're using for these. The instructor version just allows me to see your answers when you send it, if you send it, but that's the only difference. Everything looks the same. And what we want to open is this one. It's 6.3.2.10. So open that. I'm going to go to my desktop, open this Packet Tracer file or wherever I downloaded it to. And here we go. So when you open Packet Tracer, this is what you're looking at. We have the activity timer going. We're going to use this check results at the end. That's part of what you're going to submit. And you're also going to submit this file that we're working on, adding computers to existing network PKA. The PKA file is just activity file, and the PKT, which is a packet tracer, is just a normal packet tracer. So this one, if you click this button and you click this top button and you move around, it always stays here in the window. So you can place it wherever you want. And can we resize it? Yeah, we can resize it, place it where we want, and hit this top option, and then it always stays. These instructions are what we're following. And that is the same instructions that are in if they're not downloading, but it's in this file right here, the PDF. That's this, and that's the thing that I printed off because I like a paper copy. I have a hard time reading online. And then the PKA file that we opened is here. So now you know what we're working with. We have packet tracer, and then we have these instructions. So what you're going to do when you do any packet tracer is open the PKA and follow these instructions. The objectives of this packet tracer: configure the computers to use DHCP, configure static addressing, use ipconfig, and use ping to verify connectivity. These are some of the tools that you already know about. You know what DHCP is to dynamically allocate IPs. Static addressing is where the IP address is doesn't change. It's always that one. So how you do this is you follow the steps to ensure that the instructions, oh, we already got that hint. Background, you'll need 2 computers in the branch network office. Okay. The company uses DHCP for dynamic addressing of all PCs. Now this packet tracer, why I chose this one is it's from the IT Essentials class from the CCNA. It's the first packet tracer lab from the first CCNA class that students do. So you may, you know, you're in CO231, you're not going to take the CCNA 1 class, but this is one of the things that they'll do in there. So it gives us a good, it gives us kind of the same stuff that we can work on. And get some CCNA or Cisco experience. And you're probably toward the end of your degree, so using things or looking at things like ipconfig and ping and DHCP and static, those are things you should already know. So we're going to go through this one together so you know how to do it. Some people have reported that the Packet Tracer 101 was confusing, and that's why I'm making this video. So step 1, study the topology. It shows 2 PCs, a switch, a server, a router, and a cloud. So here's the switch icon, here's the router icon, here's the server icon, and this is the internet cloud, the internet, and or the internet. And then we have PC 0 and PC 1. So notice that they're connected to the switch using straight through cables. We'll learn how to connect cables. And notice that the green dots on the straight through links are already active. So that means that it's the correct link and they can communicate. Now, Packet Tracer is very close to setting up. It's a great simulator because if you don't have things configured properly, you're going to get red lights and you're going to see where the links are not active. So you can configure these. When we go into the configuration of our switch here or a router here, it's just like if you were going into the configuration of an actual device. So you'll see that more and more as you use Packet Tracer. Also, why Packet Tracer? Well, this is Cisco's tool for network simulation. It's very, very similar to what you do in the real environment. It costs money to have access to it, but because we're now a new Cisco Academy, we have it. So save this. It's a great tool for you to learn if you end up doing some studying on your own for your CCNA. Sorry, I sidetracked. Let me just stick with the instructions. So we notice the green dots. Okay. It's important, even though these steps don't say do something, it's important to read them because it tells us what's going on. Green dots on both sides indicate the correct cable type. There should be green dots on both ends of each cable connection. If you don't see green dots, you need to go to Preferences or Options Preferences and check the Show Link Lights checkbox. So by default, that should be there. Step 2, configure DHCP on the PCs. Okay, so I got my scratch paper. This is the whole step I got shown on the screen. So we're going to click PC 0, and the PC 0 window will appear. From here, go to the desktop. Follow along with me. You guys need to do this on your own. Click IP configuration, select the DHCP button to enable the PC to act as a DHCP client. So we're just doing IP4. Here's IP6. We're going to just do 4 right now. A DHCP client will receive an IP dynamically. You should see the following message after OK. And then exit out and then basically do the same on PC1. So we read all the steps. Let's do that. DHCP. Wait a minute. It was successful. Awesome. Let's close that. Close this. That's my computer, not anything with Packet Tracer. Then we're going to go to PC1, desktop, IP configuration, DHCP. Got that. Awesome. Close it out. So now we have, whoops. So we did all of step 2. We set DHCP for PC1 and PC0. Just checking everything. Look at there. You can see the IP address of the gateway. 254, and over here, I'm just hovering over it. You can see 254 of the gateway. Remember, a gateway is the device that you first connect to, so that's this one right here. Okay, so we did step 2. Observe the IP configurations assigned to each PC. So go to PC0, click the desktop. So we're going to the desktop of PC0 right up here. We're going to use command prompt, and then we're going to type ipconfig-all in this window. ipconfig space /all, and then hit enter. And it says record the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS server that was dynamically assigned via DHCP. So we want to record IP, subnet, default, gateway, and DNS. So we want to record those 4 things. This is step 3, E. So I'm gonna write mine down. This is PC0. Let me make this a little bit easier for me. So let me make the font a little bit bigger. I'm going to use Word as my scratch pad. You could use a piece of paper, but it'll just be easier so you can see what I'm writing down. So I want to copy this. I highlighted it. Let's see if I can paste it. Nope. That was the last thing I pasted. I can do a screenshot. Snipping tool. New. Control A, Control C. PC. Okay, so these are step 3, E, where it says record and ... So that's what that is. And then step 4 or step 3F is to do the same for PC1. So I'm going to go back. Those are just my notes. Okay, that's my snippet. Snipping tool, no. Okay, I'm back in Packet Tracer. Whoops, I closed that window. I'm going to close out of my command prompts, close out of PC0, go into PC1, go into command prompt and run ipconfig/all, ipconfig space/all, and let me snip this again. So this is of PC1. Control A and Control C in the snipping tool, and then I'm going over to my notes and I'm just going to do a Control V. So I have over here, okay, look at PC1, its IP is 172.16.1.1 and PC2 is 172.16.1.2. So they have different IP addresses. Okay, so I did E and F. I've got my notes recorded. Close that, and now we're on to G. Using the ping command. Oh, by the way, now remember, as we're going through this, all of these things that we're doing are being recorded in the PKA file. So when we check our results, at the end it'll tell us if we did things right. And also you can see we're 80% completed with this lab. So this one's easy, hopefully. Using the ping command, by the way, I haven't gone through this one yet. I just think this is a good place to start. So using the ping command, test layer 3 connectivity between the PCs and their default router. So at the PC0 prompt, enter ping PC1's address. Okay, so let's go to PC0, and at the prompt, so we need to go to command prompt, we need to ping PC1's address. So we want, hold on a second, itchy ear there from my earpiece. So we want to ping, I can't make this box any bigger, but what I'm typing is ping, P-I-N-G, space, and we want to ping PC1's address. So that is 172.16.1.2. Remember? Because that's what our notes say. PC1 address, IP is this, 1.2. So back here, we're going to do that, 172.16.1.2, and what ping does is it sees if we have connectivity to the computers, and we're getting a packet back, so we do. Okay, so that's awesome, and you don't have to record anything here because it's doing it as part of this step. Okay, from PC0, which is where we are, we want to ping the router's IP. So what's the router's IP address? The router IP, default gateway. That's the switch. Okay, if we're not sure from here, what is the router's IP address? Let's look at our design. Here's the switch, here's the router. Well, we can probably just hover over it. Let's not go into the router. Okay. I'm going to hover. Oh, is that the same? Oh, no. I'm going to hover my mouse over my router object, and I'm going to write this down. 172.16.1.254. That's the Ethernet IP address. The serial port is on the other side. So that's what we're going to try to ping. So we go back here. From PC0, ping the router's IP address. And let me just check my notes. That 254, that's the default gateway. That's where our router first goes to. Or our devices. 172.16.1.254. So we can see it here too. And both of them are the same, so they go both to the same place. That's also the device that gave us our DHCP address, or gave us our, not our DHCP, gave us our IP address using DHCP, and the one that first gets our devices. Okay. Whoops, back. Where am I going? I'm going back to here. Okay, so now I want to ping the router's IP. So I did this one right here. That's done. Now I'm doing this. Ping 172.16.1.254 and hit enter. And I'm getting a reply from that. Awesome. So I'm connected to my router. So now I'm going to go over to PC1. So I'll close out of PC0, go to PC1, enter ping 0. So we're going to go to command prompt and we're going to ping PC0, and that IP address was 172.16.1.1. Okay, we're getting a reply. And then we're going to ping our router again from here, ping 172.16.1.254. If I can type. So right here, the branch office fast Ethernet IP address, which is the router, 172.16.1.154, and we're getting a reply from there. So everybody's connecting to everything. Awesome. Step 4. 5, 6. Just look how much more we have to do. Step 4. Okay, let's just look at these and what they're asking us for. We don't have to type them out. So in this, as seen in the topology, straight-through cables were originally used to connect PC0 to PC1 to branch switch. Okay, so we have, let me close through here. These are straight-through cables to this switch. If a crossover cable had been used to connect PC1 to branch, answer the following questions. In that scenario, would PC1 have acquired an IP address over DHCP? Why? And what about PC0? Okay. Now, I don't think they want us to do anything. So, but you could take, let's see, here's the connection types. If you wanted to test this out, here you have your cables. So here's your straight through, and here's your crossover. So if you took this cable away and put in this crossover, you could see if a DHCP cable would connect. Now, we're not going to go through that, and we don't have to answer these, but my initial well, what the answers are, no, it wouldn't work, because what a crossover cable is used for are like devices. And a computer is different than a switch. You would only use crossover cables when you're connecting PC0 to PC1 directly. So you could take this cable and put it here and here. That's what crossover cables are for. So if you replace this straight through with a crossover from here to here, it would not work, because you're going to have one green option here and one red option here. It's not going to communicate, because it's not the right cable to use between two devices that are different. Crossover is for devices that are the same. Step 5. So we don't have to do anything. It just is asking us questions. When you get to things like that in the packet tracer, try to Google them. Try to think about what they're asking you to do. Switching to a static address. Okay, so despite all of the benefits of dynamic addressing, which is what you should do, change PC1 to a static address. So we're going to go back to PC1 and go to the configuration window. So right here's the desktop. We're going to go to configuration. Click the, let's see, Oh, click PC1 to bring up its configuration. Click the desktop tab. Okay, we're going back over here. Just showing you there's different tabs. Go to IP configuration. We're going to select static, and we're putting in this address. 172.16.1.20. So we're giving it a particular address. We'll do the default. Nope, we're going to change our IP or our subnet mask. Default gateway is going to be the same device. And the DNS server is the one that resolves our IP to host names. 209.165.200.226. Not 9.226. Am I in PC1? Yes. Okay. PC1 is now configured with the static IP address. Close the configuration window. Okay, so this is never going to change. DHCP can change every time you log off and log back in. Okay, verify the connectivity. Notice we're 100%. We did our last thing, but we're going to verify this last step. Click PC1 to open its configuration window. Go to the desktop. Bam. Click the command prompt. Bam. Sorry, I'll stop acting like Emerald. Getting a little crazy here. Coffee and Diet Coke this morning. Ping 172.16.1.100. Go away. Ping 172.16.1.100, and it should be successful. It is. Ping the router used as the entry point for corporate cloud by typing ping 172.16.200.1. That is also successful. And then ping a server located inside the corporate cloud. So that we're trying to ping a system that's in here in the corporate cloud. So ping 209.165.200.226. Bam. Sorry, I went back to the BAMs. 165.200.226, and that is not... Oh, wait. It is successful. 4 sent, 3 received. We lost 1. I'm guessing if we try to ping that again, we might get 4 out of 4. Yeah, that was just a fluke there. Full connectivity has been achieved through the network. Awesome. Let's close that, close that. Click over here and hit save. Save your packet tracer. Now, 2 things. How do we submit this, and what am I looking for? I'm going to uncheck this top box. Well, no, I'll leave that right there for a minute. Okay, it says in here, so we did this. When you're finished, submit the following by clicking on this link. I need you to attach your PKA file and include in the submission text or comment section your graded lab. How you do that is in the packet tracer. When you're finished, you can do check results, and it should be 100, or you can see, let's see, overall feedback. Congratulations on completing this activity. Took 25 minutes. Here's our score, 5 out of 5. Connectivity test, that's nothing in this one. So, what could we turn in? Now you could just say, you could copy this. I think that would work. You could do a screenshot of this if you like. But as you go in other labs, you'll see if there's something that you didn't do right, it'll have an X, so you can go and see what that is. or if you didn't complete all the steps with me, you're going to see that as well. So overall feedback, it'll tell you what the score is or tell you this. So I'm going to copy that, Control C to copy it. And then I'm going to close this, close that, don't reset it because we have it done. Save it and close Packet Tracer. Do you want to save your work? Yes, I just hit save. Let me hit save again. There's that. I'm going to click here to submit it, as long as Blackboard's moving now. And I'm going, come on, Internet, you serious? All the kids are at school. Nobody's doing anything. I'm connected to my stinky network. Ugh. Oh, Blackboard, you're always my nemesis. Why can't you work for once? Because I don't like you, Katie. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I had a good talking to Blackboard. It should work now. So let's click here. We're submitting our PKA. I need to write a submission. And I want to write that, well, it didn't copy that, so I got 100%. Completed all the steps. Not only that, that's not going to suffice. I need to see your work. So we're going to attach a file. I am going to go to my desktop where I saved my PKA. It's right here. Yep. Make sure it's the packet tracer. So I should be able to download this file that you submitted and see that you went through all the steps. And then you submit it. And then you'll get 100 points. Let me cancel out of there. So that is this one that's assigned this week. And let me, now that I had a talking to the internet too. So let's see that those open properly. There, that is. And then also the PKA to begin with. It should start the download. Find where you save that. So show in the folder, and then you can move it to wherever, but this is the file that you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to assign for this unit, I'm going to assign one more that you'll do on your own without a video. So you'll have 2 that you'll want to complete for this unit, and we'll do some more to kind of give you an overall view of what we're going to do with Packet Tracer. I don't need to do that. Don't save. There's this Packet Tracer manual that I have, and it shows in the IT Essentials all of the Packet Tracer labs. So we just did this one, adding computers. We're going to do cabling a simple network next. And then as we go on, physical, installing a network, connecting a wireless PC, testing a wireless connection, connecting a wireless router, and I'll assign several of these packet tracers as the semester goes on. In Chapter 10, there's one more, wireless security techniques. I'm not sure if we'll get to that one, or I might go into the other courses. So remember, these packet tracers are out of the IT Essentials course, and there's a routing and switching course next. I might pull some packet tracers out of there, because that might be more appropriate for the topics that we're studying in this course. So that is it. Enjoy Packet Tracer. You know what to submit, and I'll talk with you later.